Are you going to want InDesign CS5? Well, in order to help you decide, answer this question. Which kind of newspaper magazine layout would you prefer working with? This one where I've got three separate text frames in order to have this headline that spans these columns, and this one that spans two columns. Would you rather have that? Or would you rather lay out your article this way, starting with just one 5-column text frame and dragging and dropping an object style like this and having the whole thing formatted automatically in a single text frame? If you didn't like the second example better, there's something very, very wrong with you. If you did like it, watch the rest of this demo of a brand new InDesign CS5 feature. Okay, so how did I make that happen? Why is this text composing the way it is when I've only got one text frame here? I've got a 5-column text frame. What is going on here with this this paragraph here and this paragraph here? Because there's just one text frame, not 3. Let's look. I'm going to select that headline paragraph, pull down the menu on the control palette, and choose the new feature, the new CS5 feature, span columns. And this is going to solve so many problems for so many people. They will all soon be singing along with me, span, 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 wonderful span, because this will enable you to work with individual paragraphs frames rather than going through the tedium of creating multiple frames, applying text wrap to them, and having to deal with managing all of them should layouts change. So what you've got here is the ability to apply a paragraph layout. The default is single column. That's what InDesign has always done in the past. Span columns is what you see here, where a single paragraph spans multiple columns. And then you have split column, which enables you to take a single column and divide it up into multiple columns. And we'll look at that one, that command, that feature in just a minute. Right below the paragraph layout is the span X number of columns. I have this one set to all, but you could set it to 2, 3, 4, 5 in this case because I've got a 5-column text frame. If I had a 6-column text frame, these numbers would go up to 6, etc. So this just gives you a number that matches the number of columns in your text frame and enables you to choose how many columns that paragraph in question will span. And then right below that are settings for space before and space after the span. It works pretty much like space before and space after a regular paragraph. And what you see here is just this first paragraph spanning all columns, this second paragraph spanning 2 columns, and this third paragraph that also spans 2 columns, even though the text only fits in 1 column. I still wanted it to knock out that second column of text. Okay, the other half of the span columns feature is the split column feature. Here I've got a run of text in a single column text frame. I want to split this paragraph into 2 columns, but leave it in line. In the past, I would have to create a separate text frame and insert it as an anchor graphic or an inline graphic. Not so anymore. I just choose paragraph style that I've named split column, and it does this automatically to the text. And you can see it's all a single run of text. I open it up in the story editor, and the story editor just displays all the text as a single continuous run, but it's just that it's being composed and formatted to split into 2 separate columns there. Now you'll notice here, we'll look at the option this time in the context of the paragraph style options dialog box. And we'll go to the span columns feature, and you'll see that when you choose split column, you get a couple of other options in that list. First of all, you can get to choose how many columns you want it, the column divided into, space before and space after the split, and then also, in addition, the inside gutter and the outside gutter. So that's just this gap here and this gap here. Those are adjustable as well. Very, very cool, very handy, and then something also you can build right into a paragraph style within InDesign CS5. Okay, under the category of dangers, alerts, and caveats, the number one thing you need to know about this span columns feature, which is very cool, is that it's just the version 1 of this feature. It's the first cut at it, and it doesn't really play that well with footnotes. Notice this. I inserted a footnote at the in the top paragraph another footnote in the split itself and another footnote in the paragraph that follows it. Notice that the footnote gets inserted, the actual footnote notation gets inserted at the bottom of each one of those sections, not at the bottom of the entire column. Compositionally, InDesign is treating anything before the split, and then after the split as three separate little sections. So if you want to use this feature in a long document, and if you're going to be using footnotes, you're going to have to find a workaround to get the footnotes in the location that you want. Two other things on my wish list for a future version of InDesign. First is, I wish I had a little bit more control over exactly which columns were spanned in a multi-column frame. And the second thing I'd like to see is the ability to enter a negative number for the space before or space after, because when you're stacking one span on top of another span on top of another, it might help you to have the ability to enter a negative number in there at some point instead of having to play with baseline shift or something like that. Okay, getting back to the beginning of this demonstration, I'm now going to show you how to format all the text, all the paragraphs in a text frame like this in one step just by dragging and dropping an object style. I've got 5 styles active in this paragraph. I've got headline, subhead, author, body first, and then body. And each one of those paragraph styles has a next style defined in the style definition. So the next style that follows headline is subhead, what follows subhead is author, what follows author is body first, and what follows body first is body, and then what follows body is more body. Each one of those styles is defined with a next style setting, and that's critical. You have to have that configured in order to use this tip. The next thing I do is define an object style to apply to this article text frame. In that object style definition, I choose paragraph style options, and you'll note that I choose the first paragraph style that is used in this text frame, headline, and then I check this box, apply next style. What that's going to do is when I apply that object style to this text frame, it's going to apply the headline style to the first paragraph of text, then it's going to look to see what the next style is after the headline style, subhead, apply that style, see if that style has a next style assignment in the style definitions, and what it's going to do is then just enable me to format all of the paragraphs in this particular article automatically in one step. Now with my article object style defined and leveraging the new CS5 feature of span columns, I can just click and drag on this object style name, drag it onto my text frame, and boom, headline, subhead, author, body first, and body, body, body. So there you go. Wonderful span columns feature, new in CS5. Probably save a lot of people a whole lot of time.